Ryan, did you read the minutes? No, I'm not putting you on the spot. You got committed to all kinds of things.
Scanned him, I was
You
like-
missed a meeting, so you're like,
That is
you're
the
the
danger.
You're the new director.
That is the danger if you miss something.
If you noticed.
I did notice.
I
Boy,
made hard
boy, boy.
copies of the board meeting calendar for next year. If anybody wants a hard copy, they'll give JR one so we can.
So I can plan my vacations. I do, I
Go around. Put them in his
I have 1
phone
minute.
now.
I do apologize.
Yeah, I do. I had put them in my phone.
We were
Not that-
traveling
not that
all
one
over,
mattered to me.
but the Kentucky Derby was worth it. I'm not gonna lie. Should be.
Depends on what his wife has to do. She's got a busy schedule.
She's like on 5 boards now.
45?
Well, she just got on Oregon Athletics board a
Oh,
couple weeks ago.
that.
I just text to get those cheerleaders, I wanted to borrow the cheerleaders next Thursday for half an hour, like pay $500. But you have to get them like in 30,
Yeah, you can't wait last minute.
I know, I didn't know that. So I did text,
That's
or I
awesome.
did email and ask if I could still get them.
All righty, 5:30 PM. Seeing no public comment. Pass that. Number 2, administrative reports, consent agenda, A, minutes, B, financials, C, enrollments.
We are ending the year very well.
That's awesome.
We got, in May, you notice our ADM check was almost $140,000 because that was also the balancing of the 22-23 school year. Oh, there's Shauna.
This is the new Sarah.
I just wanted you to-
No, I'm confused.
No, you're fine.
Hello.
Hi, hello.
How are you, ma'am?
We will introduce everybody.
Okay, yeah.
So this is Shauna, the new business manager for Wesleyan, taking over for Sarah as of July 1st.
Outstanding.
I'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
It's Robbie.
Ryan.
Rick, you know.
JR.
Sarah. And we're missing Stacy and Kathy.
Okay.
Yeah, check with them, board members. Okay, welcome.
Okay.
Okay, so that put us way over our ADM for the year of what we budgeted by almost $328,000. We haven't even got our June payment in there yet.
So is that, I'm looking at the financial comparison, so the ESSR grant, that's the 85,000, that's the extra that comes in December?
That's the ESSER grant was the CARES money, the federal money.
COVID money,
It's
basically.
separate from, it was the second year this year, actually, well, the second part of the ESSER 3 funds. But the ADM was the one that was 328,000 over budget. We have collected all of the ESSER grants now, we're done.
It's done, right?
We have nothing left yet. We could, no, actually, this was the last year, the 3.
Had to be spent or we
Yeah.
would have lost.
Yeah.
Where's the ADM? Can you show me?
Yeah, that didn't come in May, it came in June, right?
We haven't got
We
June
haven't
yet.
done anything for June yet. Right there is the state school fund money, the 139,744. The 85,000 was the ESSER grant.
Okay.
I have applied for the remaining balance of the high school success grant. And it was another 40-some thousand, because the 29,000 was only through December. So I just applied for it, so it should come also hopefully before the end of the month. And everything should be, then will be closed out with the grants. Except for Perkins, I should be getting that too, because I did ask for the reimbursement on Perkins.
Did we get billed for Perkins?
Not yet. New business manager, so hopefully, because it's Olivia.
But it's supposed to come.
I know.
Or-
I know.
Remind me, what did we run radio ads for?
What did we run them for?
Marketing just for enrollment.
For advertising.
And we actually, we are
Enrollment
asking,
For next year or
we're,
summer school?
we're continuing.
Oh, it's just a continuation.
And when kids enroll, we're asking how they heard about us, and we have had people say that. And even one enrollment pays for the whole campaign, so it's been worth it.
And we just got the update today
Yes.
from this campaign for the last 2 months. Is the update, and we're getting really good responses to the ads.
Interactions with the online version of that.
And emails.
And email.
Are these both?
I heard the ad just this afternoon.
Did you? Good. I didn't put the ending numbers for June on there, but we stayed pretty strong at probably 85
I think it was 85.
for the month, so, yeah. We did okay.
And we've lots of people asking about next year already, so hopefully those numbers stay consistent.
Awesome.
Success breeds more success.
Very true.
Numbers.
Well, I'd go ahead and make a motion to approve the administrative reports, including enclosure 1, enclosure 2, enclosure 3, 4, lecture enrollment, enclosure 5.
Here, a motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Alright, number 3, old business.
Not a lot on that list.
Any and none. Number
We got rid of all, but policies last month.
Man, she'd make a good president. Number 4, new business, 24-25, student handbook.
So that is considered policy because the board approves it. Historically, I don't get it to you till September, which is after the fact, because they need to hand it out in August when kids register. So we got it done this year. I made the mistake of not highlighting the changes. There were very few. We updated or added to our plagiarism policy, including some stuff about AI, and then we
I looked for that specifically.
That's
what they're doing with AI. Like, I'm curious.
And that, I think, is a work in progress for us, but we added to, because plagiarism's always been a big thing, but we added the AI piece to that. I added or fine-tuned the dress code piece, which is really not an issue for us because we have so few kids come on site. And then we tried to clarify the eligibility for like high school, kids get invited to high school dances because it was questioned this year. I talked to the principal at the high school. What does that mean? Like, what do you hold your kids? What standard to? Because I don't want to hold ours to a higher standard. It's not my dance. So we tried to include that in good standing. They just really want them passing classes and not in trouble, which they didn't even care about passing the classes so much as long as they're not a behavior issue, then they're okay with it. So their dance, I don't have a problem with that. I'd like to raise the bar a little, but other than that.
I had a couple of questions, and these are
Yes.
just because I'm not familiar with school stuff. And so on page 21, graduation requirements,
Mhm.
I didn't think, this says the board establishes graduation requirements.
Mhm.
I thought the requirements came down from.
They come down from the state, but you approve them, so they are actually in policy.
We
You
have a,
look up the
we have a
policy
board policy that covers it.
that covers things.
So that's,
Because you could add additional, the state has a minimum, but you could add more,
So for the most part, we approve what
basically.
comes down.
Mhm.
What establishes kind of correct. And I was really curious with the charter school on page 23, and it's just a little bit of alignment issue there. 3 credits of foreign language?
it's,
Fine arts or foreign language, so applied
that's
arts,
2,
fine
I see.
arts, or
Okay. 3 credits, huh?
and
Wow.
CTE.
Yeah.
It includes CTE
Oh.
as well.
Yeah, cool. And then there was some,
I missed that. That must have
that must have, yeah.
been funky.
and then on page 47, there's some changes that didn't get adopted. Public charter school, district, public charter school, district, public school, district. So.
That went through it 14 times.
That's why.
Probably.
That's why, the more you go through something,
Okay,
there's
we
always,
will correct
Yeah.
that then.
because you get punched drunk
Page
on it.
47.
Get that, yeah. I went through that thing. What did I spend on it Thursday? I
For
reformatted it so it was the same everywhere, because it was 10, 12.
It was all.
It was all, and I went through every single page and
Because
reformatted it.
OSBA gives us recommendations on the handbook too, and then you kind of tweak it so it makes sense for you, but I would say 95% of it is what
Oh,
OSBA
good.
says
Yeah.
you should
If
have.
we're gonna adopt it, I'm sure you guys would want to leave that.
So, thank you. And then that will be posted on our website also, so that we have hard copies for kids, but it's on there so they can access it anytime. I would say if you ask kids and parents, none of them read it. But if there's an issue, they will. So it's good to have.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, maybe if I can find this, this is, one says, so one section it was, no, there it was. So one section says, school opens at 8:00, don't drop your kids off early. And then on the back page, it says supervision of students, all adult supervision starts at 7:45.
Let me fix that to 8:00.
You don't want to be here.
Well, we're here. We are here.
Well, it's just a
But
consistency.
yeah,
no,
now
I
8
didn't-
to 3 is when.
I didn't even realize it was back there.
8 to 3. That is correct. So we will. Thank you.
Without parents dropping kids off.
All right.
Supervising my kids.
15 minutes early.
Do you want to adopt it or approve it with those
With the
revisions?
revisions.
I think so.
Yeah, I think we can.
So I'll make a motion to go ahead and approve the student handbook with the proposed changes.
Second motion. Hearing a motion with a second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Z.
And you can print it.
And then we will go in the director's report.
So we had graduation on the 4th. Robbie was there. It was amazing. The turnout was incredible. We had 200 chairs and there were a good 50 people standing. It was packed in there and it couldn't have gone any better. It was great. The kids enjoyed it. People stuck around afterwards, took lots of photos, and I thought it
It's really cool that it was just right next door.
Yeah.
I loved it. So I really hope that building doesn't rent and we can use it again because it was perfect.
Is it rented? Do you know?
We don't know.
Still don't know.
He told us it had.
But then he sort of backed up because he said he had somebody else looking or they were advertising. So
He turned power off.
he did turn the power off
That was
the
great.
next day after we were done. It just meant for us. We were meant to be in there.
Sweet.
Yes, so it went well.
Good job.
Finished staff evaluations. JR signed contracts today for next year, so that was good. Staff was done. They were done yesterday. It was their last day. Got all the grades done. We got report cards out today. I think they even went in the mail
I think
today.
so. We didn't see him over there.
So, talking about next year already and what to do and what to change. And our new teacher that we hired came in to visit for our last staff meeting and great fit. Like, we interviewed him online from Texas. So to meet somebody in person, you never know if they're going to be exactly what you see on the computer. And it was just instant. He fits. And so we're looking forward to it.
He came on a Wednesday afternoon and we had our staff time. And he just said, I just want to listen. And he did. And then he had some great input too. So I think he's going to be a great fit to the team, the teachers.
Started summer school yesterday. Today's Monday, Tuesday. Yesterday.
Yeah.
Kids came in for orientation. The ones from out of district, our kids already know how to use the system, so they didn't have to do that. And I think we have one more that might be coming starting tomorrow. Parents called late, so.
How does that
Small.
normally, so do they trickle in for a week or? I mean,
Not
what is
typically.
the cutoff?
Typically, they start, if they want to come late, it does not extend their time, so they still have to finish the class by July 19th. So after this week, we probably wouldn't let them come because the odds of them finishing wouldn't be good. And we charge them $250 a class, so we want them to be successful.
We started a little bit earlier than typical. and some of the schools are extended days because of the ice storm. So like Marist didn't actually have their grading day until Monday when everybody else started summer school.
And
So
they're one of our bigger summer
Yeah.
schools.
usually.
And most of those Mary's kids take it to bring up a grade. They want better grades on their transcripts, not because they need the class, but because they're bringing up a grade.
That sounds like easy money.
Right.
We've had the football team, we've had the baseball team, we have the softball team.
And then a couple just additional things so we have really worked, we talked about getting Chromebooks turned in and that being a huge challenge. And we've really worked on communicating that to death in the last couple weeks. And we checked out 87 Chromebooks this year. As of today, 54 have been returned. 19 we're waiting on current students. And then we had 14 who left during the year that they didn't come back. Sarah's billed multiple times. She will build them again. And we're just going to keep communicating. Bright yellow paper went home and report cards to remind them again. So it's not a great 62% is what we've got back. I hope that number can get much higher.
You could turn them in every year.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so even our kids that signed up for summer school, we asked that they brought it back. Let us
Check it out.
Yes, so we wanted eyes on that, and we had 3 kids do that. So I just want to see that it's still around
Still
and
around.
And it's still in working
Right,
condition.
Sorry, explain, so 54 got returned, the 19 was what?
19 we're still waiting on of currently enrolled students.
Oh, okay, those are current,
Yeah, and then-
14 are kids.
Yeah.
Just disappeared.
Left or
Left
throughout.
sometime throughout the year.
I reached out to other districts right after the first of the year because I had a ton. And I asked other districts, I asked Fern Ridge, and all they do is invoice them.
Yep.
And if they don't come back at some point in time, these kids are never gonna come back and graduate probably. If they do, we'll hold their diploma. You can give them a
Yep.
copy until, that's what Fern Ridge does.
And they don't play sports either. If they're like in activities or they want to play a sport, they can't play the next season sport if they have an LCP.
Correct, over there.
Yeah.
Which we could
So
do
that's a
too, but
little.
for us, it's typically
Yeah.
kids who aren't here
Yeah,
anymore,
it's
so
too
we
hard.
can't.
Yeah.
At one point, I went through those 14 and just looked at those kids to see if they had gone elsewhere. And we haven't received records requests and they're not enrolled anywhere else.
They're gone.
They're gone. They've
Because
just
if we
dropped
do
off.
get records requests that they've gone to a different school, we will send an invoice there and try that route too.
So that's
I
what
had, and we have 4 hotspots that we checked out. 1's come back, 3 have not. So we've turned them off so they're not active, but they haven't come back to us.
That happens in the public library too. They check those out. They don't always come back and they just disappear. They shut them off.
Because it's
Yeah.
free internet.
It's just how it is, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's just part of how the world works right now.
And I don't know a way around that because it's part of access
Yeah.
and we have to provide it.
Yeah.
So we'll just keep trying. But we definitely did a better job this year of communicating that and for the last month, like we have repeatedly said, don't forget, don't forget, don't forget. So
Luckily, but then again, the ones that haven't come back were from Lane ESD, so we didn't have to buy them. But with that said, next year they're gonna have to be replaced and we will have to buy some.
So how does that hotspot work if you're not on a cell company? How does that work here?
You have to have a cell card.
You do, so they have to have a cell.
no, we pay for it through Verizon.
It's
So
a
it's
hot.
just
No, but
it's
they
a
need to be in
brand,
a
so it's
spot
all
where they
Verizon.
can get.
Yes,
Correct.
yes.
That's just like
Yeah.
your phone.
Yeah, I know, but I was wondering, because if I have T-Mobile with it.
Yeah.
And we've had some kids who have been so remote that it didn't
It
work.
doesn't.
There's not a whole lot we can do about that, but that's been rare.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, which came up last week, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, is the district kind of last minute applied for, it's called CEP, and I can't remember what's community something program, where they will be able to serve free breakfast and lunch to all students next year. So they don't have to qualify for free and reduced. They don't have to. Well, we seem to be the thorn in that whole program then. So Gary's by contract had to let us know by June 15th if they were going to drop us from their food service program. He let me know that this was all happening on June 13th and they might be dropping us. I got 2 days to. So on the 15th, he said, because of the short notice, here's 3 options. One option was we could take full part in that, but we have to go through the audit every year. And the audit is multiple steps, and we have to be food handlers, and they have to come in and do inspections, and it's just a big process. Doable, but a big process. 2, we average about $2,500 in fees of lunches and breakfast throughout the year. We could just choose to not be part of their program and pay that out of our budget and either eat it or have the kids pay us back. I don't want to charge kids who could qualify for free and reduced. Or his third choice, which to me was a no-brainer, for the first year, we'll just do it as is. We have to go pick up lunches. They won't deliver them anymore. And the district will foot the bill. As long as it stays in that $2,500 range, he felt like they would be okay with that, and we'll revisit it next year. So that's the choice we made, because we had to make it right then and there, and we'll see how it goes. But I think technically, legally, because we are virtual, we do not have to serve meals. I don't feel right about not serving meals. If the kids are on site on campus and they want food, we're going to give them a lunch.
Most of those kids that do come in and eat are district kids anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe that's why.
It's few and far between. We just don't serve a lot of meals. They don't want them. So that was a big change. And so for next year, it really doesn't look like, other than we have to go pick them up, which is
And that's
not a
just
big deal.
lunches.
Yeah, breakfast and lunches.
Oh,
If we
want
we don't have kids eat breakfast currently. We wouldn't deny them if they wanted it, but right now none of them take it. They're not here early.
how do we make them aware that that's available?
We tell them, the kids that come on site, we ask them every day. Actually, on their sign-in sheet, they can mark if they want breakfast or lunch when they get here.
And we'll have to make that very well known at registration this year too, especially the local kids.
So that may look different for us in the future, but for next year, that's the route we're gonna go. And I do appreciate Gary giving us that option because it was such short notice. And in the meantime, I'll do some research as to if there are other options too. But to follow all of the federal guidelines, it's not something we want to do on our own. It's not feasible for us to do it on our own.
The handful that we have. It was-
Yeah.
And he said, then he did say that next year he would start the process a lot earlier. So we would have more time if they're not gonna do it.
And I probably would just go through the whole audit process, but I don't know. I'll see what other options might be out there.
So the pickup is at the high school?
Yeah. But I would say the last week of school, I don't know if we had anybody eat a lunch. So it wouldn't, Andrea will go get it if we need it, but if we don't, then we don't.
I met one day.
And we've got the band to run over there and get it. And that is that.
Can I ask a crazy question? So we know that it's been a rarity when some of our kids have wanted to compete in sports over in the high school. Talk through that a little bit, but it doesn't happen very often. But we just, the nature of our kids, really known for not athletic nature. Is there a school-based gaming sports? I mean, is it-
Like esports?
yeah. I mean, something that
Not
would be
that I know of. but
attractive
that's
to our
kinda-
kids.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a, scholastic sort of,
I would be willing to bet there's a club sports, not like an OSAA sanctioned,
Right.
like kind of thing. But there might be, I don't know. It's very popular at the collegiate level.
Yeah, they got
Like
scholarships
they
for
have
it now.
scholarships and
yeah.
they build
Yeah.
entire auditoriums for it. So and it's pretty cool.
And actually, this year we had 3 kids do sports.
But that's a really good question
Yeah,
because
last year
with
we-
bringing on a new teacher for IT, that could be something that he could consider.
Well, especially if you knew you were competing against
Mhm.
other schools or
Yeah.
even
And-
against Fort Ridge or.
And so accessible for our students
robotics.
being virtual.
Like
Yeah.
robotics.
We have the 3D printers, but
Yeah, I had a student come in the
I'm
other
looking
day
at one,
from
honestly.
Crow
Yeah,
asking about robotics, but we don't currently have a program because we don't have a teacher, but that could be something that we
It
have.
seemed like there was a lot of talk about it, but it just never got off the ground.
and before too, Ron tried the drone
Right, that's what-
program,
Yeah.
and it was hard to consistently get the same kids in to take
Esports.
part in it.
It's an emerging sport.
What is it?
Through OSAA.
Esports is an emerging sport through OSAA, which
Huh.
means that like it's not like a sanctioned like championship, like they don't have a state title for it, but there is an esports.
And it's a competition.
It's a competition.
What are we doing?
So there's a contact number. A guy named Joe Navarro.
I'm gonna mention that to Tony because that's pretty cool.
Yeah, if you just
Right
go
up
on,
the alley
if you
for
go
our.
on OSAA's
I think it
website,
fits our kids pretty well.
Very.
OSAA's website under activities,
Mm-hmm.
on the bottom, there's an emerging tab. There's fall, winter,
Yeah.
summer, and then emerging. And it's under emerging.
Okay, so thank you.
Might have to.
And there's a contact number for it, an email.
I think it would have to check that out. I think, and I'm not positive, but I think as a charter school, we're only an associate member of
Yeah.
OSAA because that gives our kids the right to participate in their home district in sports. If we were to do something like that, we may have to go to a full membership, and I don't know.
Yeah, we have
That
to
cost.
research because I don't know that we would want to go to a full membership either if it prohibited kids from doing things within their own district. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll have to do some
As a
research.
emerging sport, maybe there is a
Yeah, there might be.
status for.
And there might be, because it's an emerging sport, there might be like just regional competitions, like the robotics that they could go to.
Right.
Or compete, I don't know if they
Wouldn't
go, if
have
they
to
do it
be
online,
through
I don't know how that
OSAA.
works, but
Yeah,
it doesn't necessarily go through OSAA.
that's true.
That's
It's a
very
good question.
interesting. I like it. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, over the years that I coached at Elmira, I only had a handful of kids that played soccer. My son was one of them. Jackson Lantis, a number of years ago, played
Yeah.
soccer. Jason. I don't remember his last name. Big tall blonde hair kid.
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name either. We had 3 this year kids
Oh, nice.
participate in football, volleyball, and it was
Okay.
And
had
softball. We had softball too. Part of the
Oh,
season.
that's right. She played. That's right.
So remind me of yours and Shauna's summer schedule. We'll leave here
The
a
end
week
of
or
the
two,
month.
end of
Yeah.
the month,
We
and
come
then sometime in
The
August.
middle of August.
The night
19th.
staff is all back on the 19th. Well, admin staff is back on the 19th.
Yeah.
Teachers come in on the 21st for the open house, and then they're back the following week. And then Sean and I will be in and out a few days
Yeah.
next month, a few days in August, and then I'll just be whenever throughout the year when she wants me. There'll be a lot.
When we yell.
There'll be a lot. We have a lot to do yet well, we haven't even touched the finance, so, yeah. That'll be,
And I will be in and out July and August too, just doing, because things always come up. Always.
Do we still have Acuity as our?
Yep.
So,
we should do. They're awesome.
Makes it easy, but
They're awesome. They have great staff. We always see the same people. And if I have a question or a problem, I can reach out to Carrie and any of Corey, any of the other staff.
we found a really great restaurant in downtown Albany. It's Sedaris. It's awesome food. Looking for an
Gotta go.
And their office is right next door.
Cool.
They're part of renovating an old historic building.
Awesome. Make sure your summer kids know there's lunch in the park,
Okay.
11:30 to 12:30 for Land County.
11:30 to 12:30.
Mhm.
I will send out a message.
At the Broadway Park. Right by the pool.
Yeah.
I'm the site supervisor for food for Lake County this summer.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
yeah, fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
And I think Stacy's still looking for lifeguards.
Lifeguards.
Yeah, I saw another post go up today. I think it was
I
today.
saw that.
I'll add that to my message.
I know she hired for her office help, her instant help.
She had a bunch of.
Does she train them, lifeguards, or
Yeah,
do they
but
have to
it's
be?
pretty tough to pass the
It is.
physical part of it.
Yeah, they have.
But they
to
don't have to be trained to apply, they.
No, she'll do all the certifications
Okay.
with them. And I know she's had some kids that have taken multiple go-arounds to get
Yeah.
certified. So she'll, I think, work with them.
Okay.
For somebody that just
I'll send
can't,
out a
there might
message
be another
tomorrow.
job for them.
Well, a lot of
Exactly.
them will start out as just a pool.
They like help out.
Yeah.
Pool aids helping the.
Help out, yeah, the school aid, that's what they call
Yeah.
it.
That's great, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's great, something, yeah.
It's that, holding that brick up and treading water.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
We had to swim across the Triangle Lake for our fun.
Yeah.
We did it
All right. Number 6, other.
2 or 3 times.
Nothing. Number 7. Somebody's favorite.
Robbie, this is yours.
Motion to adjourn. 6:00.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Told you it'd be quick.
That's quick.
Well, welcome aboard.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Awesome.
It's gonna be wonderful. I had interviews until 4:45, so.
Oh,
screw
wow.